Hello, my name is Joseph Perez, and the two biomes I chose were the aquatic and the desert biomes. The aquatic ecosystem consists of freshwater and marine. Freshwater has ponds and lakes, streams and rivers, and wetlands. Freshwater is ponds and lakes, streams and rivers, and wetlands. Freshwater is defined as having a low salt concentration, usually less than 1%. Plants and animals in freshwater regions are adjusted to the low salt content and would not be able to survive in areas of high salt concentration. Now, ponds and lakes range in size from just a few square meters to thousands of square kilometers. Ponds may be seasonal, lasting just a couple of months, such as sessile pools. Lakes may exist for hundreds of years or more, may have limited species diversity since they are often isolated from one another and from other water sources like rivers and oceans. Ponds and lakes are divided into three different zones: the littoral and the limnic and profundal zone. Let me see. The littoral zone starts right here, the limnic zone is right here, and the profundal zone is right here. The littoral zone is usually towards the shoreline, and the limnic zone is not the deepest, but is usually open water. And the profundal zone is not the deepest yet, but it still is near the bottom of the ocean. The littoral zone is the warmest since it is shallow and can absorb more of the sun's heat. Sustains a fairly diverse community which can include several species of algae, rooted and floating aquatic plants, grazing snails, clams, insects, crustaceans, fishes, and amphibians. Right there. The eggs and larva stages of some insects are found in this zone. Vegetation and animals living in the littoral zone are food for other creatures such as turtles, snakes, and ducks. The limnetic zone. It's near the surface of open water surrounded by the littoral zone. It's well lidded and is dominated by plankton, both phytoplankton and zooplankton. Planktons are small organisms that play a crucial role in the food chain. Most life would not be possible without them. A variety of freshwater fish also occupy this zone. The profundal zone, it has plankton and the plankton has short lifespans. When they die, they fall to the deep water part of the lake or pond. It's much colder and denser than the other two. Little light penetrates all the way through the limnic zone into the profundal zone. Animals are decomposers. Ponds and lakes. The temperature varies seasonally. Summer, it goes from 4 degrees Celsius near the bottom to 22 degrees Celsius at the top. During the winter, it goes from 4 degrees Celsius while the top is 0 degrees Celsius, which means ice. Between the two layers is a narrow zone called the thermocline, where two temperatures of the water changes rapidly with depth. Ponds and lakes during the springs and fall seasons is a mixing of the top and bottom layers, resulting in a uniform water temperature around 4 degrees Celsius. Mixing also circulates oxygen throughout the lake. Many lakes and ponds do not freeze during the winter, resulting in the top layer being a little warmer. Ice can develop at the top of the lakes during the winter, and it blocks out the sunlight and can prevent photosynthesis. Oxygen levels drop and some plants and animals may die, called water kill. Streams and rivers. In streams and rivers, they are bodies of flowing water moving in one direction. Found everywhere, they get their start at headwaters, which may be springs, snowmelt, or even lakes. They travel all the way to their mouths, which is the end. Usually another water channel or the ocean. The marine part of the aquatic ecosystem consists of oceans, coral reefs, and estuaries. They cover about 3/4 of the Earth's surface and include oceans, coral reefs, and estuaries. Algae supply much of the world oxygen and supply and take in a huge amount of atmospheric carbon dioxide. Evaporation of the seawater provides rainfall for the land. The intertidal zone is where the ocean meets the land. Sometimes it's submerged and at other times exposed. Waves and tides come in and out, which causes the exposure. Communities are constantly changing. Estuaries are enclosed bodies of water formed where fresh water from rivers and streams flow into the ocean, mixing with the salty seawater. Estuaries and land surrounding them are places of transition from land to sea, and from fresh to salt water. Although influenced by the tides, estuaries are protected from the full force of ocean waves, winds, and storms by reefs, barrier islands, or fingers of land, mud or sand that define an estuary seaward boundary. And that's it for the aquatic biome. For the desert biome, it's not really complicated. The deserts cover about 1/5 of the Earth's surface and occur where rainfall is less than 50 centimeters a year. Most deserts occur at low latitudes. Another kind of desert, cold deserts, occur in basin or mountain ranges. Most deserts have considerable amounts of specialized vegetation as well as specialized vertebrate and invertebrate animals. The soils often have an abundant nutrients because they need only water to become very productive and little or no organic matter. Disturbances are common in the form of occasional fires or cold weather, and sudden, infrequent but intense rains cause flooding. Hot and dry deserts, the temperature. The desert surface receives a little more than twice the solar radiation received by humid regions and lose almost twice as much heat and light. Many mean actual temperatures range from 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. The extreme maximum range of temperature goes from 43.5 to 49 degrees Celsius, which is the maximum, and the minimum temperature sometimes drops to negative 18 degrees Celsius. In cold deserts, the temperature, it has a lot of snowfall and overall high rainfall throughout the winter and occasionally over the summer. And the cold desert areas are usually near Arctic regions. They are short, moist, and moderately warm summers with fairly long cold winters. And the mean winter temperature is between -2 to 4 degrees Celsius, and the mean summer temperature is between 21 to 26 degrees Celsius. Now, precipitation of cold deserts are very low, but they have a lot of snow. The mean of the annual precipitation ranges from 15 to 26 centimeters. Annual precipitation has reached a maximum of 46 centimeters and a minimum of 9 centimeters. The heaviest rainfall of the spring is annually in April or May. The soil is heavy, silty, and salty, relatively porous, and draining is good so that most of the salt has been leached out. Plants are widely scattered. Areas of shade scale about 10% of the ground is covered. Some areas of sagebush it approaches 85%. Heights vary between 15 centimeters to 122 centimeters. Deciduous, most having spiny leaves. And that's it.